My name is Phoebe Tully, and this is the Kitchenet. Today we're hanging out with Kara Rosenlund, photographer, stylist and professional wanderer. Kara invited me into her extraordinary workers' cottage home that she's been renovating over the last couple of years to chat all things antiques, chickens and London. We'll be cooking pan-roasted chicken with lentils, a citrus and beetroot salad and a classic sponge cake. Okay, let's get started.
So we're going to bake a sponge cake. It's just a classic sponge. Again, it's something that it's just a go-to. It's a staple. You don't have to get too fancy with it, and it's comforting.
So Kara, you have squeezed this day in amongst lots of travel around Australia. What are you doing?
Well, Phoebe, I'm working on a book at the moment. I am travelling around Australia and I'm photographing beautiful, authentic homes. And, lovely people, strangers are letting me come into their home. It's just such a privilege because the home is such a special place, really. It's where we, retreat from the world. I think it is an extension of who you are, and it's a portrait of who you are as well. I'm not doing a huge big makeover and rearranging cushions and furniture. I really am capturing that moment with the light and what's happening at that moment, just the stillness of their interior.
So what sort of things are you seeing?
I'm seeing a lot of different uses of materials. I'm seeing just people, because of the remote nature of the book and the way, country Australians still live, there's a can-do mentality. There's a lot of salvaged elements within these homes, and it's not because, salvage is on trend and it's all industrial and it's cool. It's just, it makes sense. If something still has a purpose, then we should definitely use it. It is almost utilitarian, It has a purpose, let's use it.
So your style is really, really natural, but when you style shoots for other people, do you need to go in and do a lot of that rearranging? And
it always depends on the brief. It is, as a stylist, you can't just always put your stamp on what you think. You need to respect your client and their audience.
With all of these materials that you have, it comes from your work with antiques.
Absolutely.
And also your reluctance to throw things out. You want things to have a long life, and is that because you work with things that have already had a long life?
I think what it is, I'm a very sentimental person, and I think the nostalgia of these bits and pieces is definitely an extension of that. Like, I have a favourite wooden spoon, and it's this one.
And there are also lots over here. You up there.
But this one is made from bentwood, as in the bentwood chairs.
Right.
And I've found this at a market, and I just feel how smooth that is.
Yeah.
It's just pure joy, just as opposed to using something that's new or from IKEA or something. Just to be able to use something that has had a previous life is a lovely sentimental thing, really. So what we're going to do here, this is a dish that, again, it's comfort food for us at home. It's just very earthy with the lentils, and the basil oil, because you make it by hand, it just adds a really quite a freshness to the heavy comfort nature of the dish. But what usually happens at home, where we are now, is I get my husband Timothy O to joint the chicken.
I love it. To carve the chickens.
Okay, so it's all yours, Timothy O.
So the idea is to get some of Kara's random utensils and to pretty much hack at the chicken. So we're jointing the chicken, aren't we?
Well, we are, but it's also, I think what's great with buying a whole chicken as opposed to pieces is that you get to use the whole chicken, it's more economical, and there's less waste.
It's funny because when we were in London we started getting like the organic chickens from this fruit and veg and meat grocer delivered to our door.
Oh yeah.
And I was really passionate about like getting the meat and then trying to cut it myself and just use every single bit. So I was pretty bad at it to start with, and then I'm still probably bad at it, but I'm getting a little bit better.
Phoebe, what we're going to do now with the chicken is we're going to pan fry it, and with the
royal we.
Yes, the royal we.
Oh, means you.
Yeah. So, I'll get you doing that to the oil, and Phoebe and I are going to make the basil oil. Really break apart the basil and sort of grind it into a lovely paste, and then add olive oil, and you can keep it in the fridge, for about a week, and it's just such a handy thing to add to whatever you're cooking. Yeah, it's already done.
I guess we can do that with heaps of things, not just basil.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, wise spaces and harvest certain things. Okay, so I'm just going to start bashing this with some oil.
You want me to bash this?
You start doing that, and I'll do some with some oil. I love to make a home. The home is very important to me, and it's just that nurturing element. And I just didn't see it as a problem. I know other girlfriends were like, they come in with their backpacks and they leave with their backpacks. Yeah, I arrived with a suitcase and I left with a shipping container. But that's very much, because Timothy, my husband and I, we wanted to create that home, because sometimes when you do live abroad and you miss family and you miss things that are familiar to you, and there's different weather cycles, you're walking at 4 o'clock in the winter and it's dark and it's raining in London, and all you want to do is get home. And if it's not homely, if it's not going to protect you and make you feel safe, then there's just that's just not how I live. Yeah. So I wanted to create a little home over there, and I will continue to do that.
And here you have memories of London through.
Yeah, it's like that whole journey, that whole sort of storybook.